Hello, welcome back to Creative Companion. Today I wanted to talk about, so the title of this video will be Submit and Embrace. And I just wanted to speak on what submitting looks like. And I used to think that submitting to God meant, going to church and being a holy person and not drinking or not doing drugs. Like, I thought that that's what submission meant, but recently this year, I would say that I realized, like, oh, submitting to God means saying yes and submitting to the interior path and submitting to what is really submitting to what's really innate to you. Like, I'll just say it in terms of personal I'll use a personal example of, like, me submitting to God meant that I have to practice my guitar and I have to make music and I have to make videos. But doing the opposite of that would have been like becoming a doctor. Like, ever since I was a little girl, I never wanted to be a doctor, but if I were to become a doctor just because I wanted certain recognition, I wanted to maybe feed my ego, anything of that nature, then I would have done contrary to what God really wanted me to do, even though that being a doctor is a very good thing, and being a doctor is it's a very noble and serviceful path. But if you see that something, just because something is necessarily good doesn't mean that it's for you. Like, serving God is following what is already inside of you, but maybe that you're too afraid to admit. I know I was afraid to admit that I wanted to do music for a while. Like, when I went to school, I was I was studying psychology for a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get serious or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to maybe reframe your understanding of, or reframe your perspective of what submitting to God means. And also wanted to shed light on not only when you're becoming a creative person or want to be a creative person, not only do you have to submit to that, but you also have to embrace it. So the word embrace has been coming up in my mind and throughout the days, that I really have to embrace my own path, because in a way, even though I said yes to my creativity, in my mind, I still kind of want to play it safe. But then it's once you're saying yes to a creative path, you really have to embrace the fact that you're going to be asked to do things that you feel like you're not qualified to do, and once you embrace your imposter syndrome, once you embrace the clock, embrace the fact that it's going to take a lot longer than you want your projects to take, embrace all of those things. Embrace all the negative aspects of your journey, but also embrace, I think what's scarier is actually embracing the fact that your dreams are your dreams and your visions and your calling is it's huge. So yeah, embrace the clock, the imposter syndrome, but like really what you want to embrace is the fact that the person you want to become is like up here and you're right here, but the only way that you can get there is by submitting and taking the path ahead of you, climbing the staircase, you know. But aside from that, I wanted to recommend a book. This is called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I've already started implementing the practices and her tools for becoming the person that you want, and I hope that y'all buy it and, you know, implement it ASAP, because it's already helping me. Like, I already feel it transforming me. The morning pages have been like super effective, and the artist state as well, like really being able to understand what's going on in your head. And then the artist state is where you know, you just take yourself out on a date, and that also like helps you understand like where your desires and your interests really lie. And through those artist dates and taking time for yourself really help your creativity, because like you bring in like pieces from those dates and that time alone. And then the morning pages, like it's you journal for 3 pages and you can just like write whatever you want, but that really helps, just putting your fears on the page, putting your doubt, trying to solve a problem. That's kind of like what I've been wrestling through. Writing down like what frustrates you about yourself or your family, or how long something is taking. So I'd really recommend this book. And yeah, I'll see y'all next Monday. Comment if you like this. Goodbye.